You're listening to WAIF 88.3 FM in Cincinnati. We are your community radio station. I was just rocking a little Grateful Dead there. Sorry, guys. We are your community radio station, guys. Remember that. The only one in town. And WAIF, as your very own community radio station, serves only to open its airwaves to responsible, divergent points of view like Randy and myself. The opinions expressed on this program do not reflect those of WAIF, staff, Board of Trustees, any other person associated with WIF except for moi and Taper Jesse. So yeah, it's just us, man. It's just us. It's our opinions. Thanks again for joining me. You're listening to Ramblin' Rob on The Greatest Story Ever Told. Do have a good program for you tonight. We're rolling through 78. Going to try to prioritize 1978. It was a great year for the Grateful Dead, in as much as it was Keith and Donna, not so much. But Keith was really cruising well with being in the band for almost 8 years or 7 years. So he's fitting in well, playing well. Everyone's playing extremely well. Jerry just got on the smack about a year before that, so he's still playing, rocking. He's still playing really well. Real tight set of years, 1978 and 79. Okay, guys, we're going to tell you about a couple good things here at WAIF. If you like rock and roll, and hey, who doesn't, right? If you like rock and roll, R&B, soul, roots, and folk music, tune into Blues, Snakes, and Banjos every other Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 here at WAIF. Bob Hust and Bill Thompson have been called the best music education on the radio by City Beat, and the two of them mix their songs with shenanigans to keep the show entertaining. That's Blues, Snakes, and Banjos, Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 here on WAIF. I listen to these guys a lot, too, in as much as I come to a lot of meetings on Wednesday night at the station, and they're always on when I'm up here, so it's always really cool to listen to that great program while I'm here. I get to see them live in studio doing the show. Cool cats. Speaking of cool, you can be cool if you go to the library. Yeah, man, I said it. The Public Library of Cincinnati and Hamilton County features an expanded list of reading programs for both children and adults. The four main categories of events are book discussion groups, regularly scheduled story times for children, children's special programs, and adult teen special programs. For more info about events at the main library or any of the other 41 branches. Wow, 41 branches. Call 513-369-6900 or visit online at cincinnatilibrary.org. I just had a discussion the other day with someone about the libraries in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has, I believe, the third largest public library system in the nation, and it also is one of the unique things in as much as every library in the city of Cincinnati, when you go around to it, is architecturally unique. They're not these little boxes and cookie cutters and quick little cheap easy buildings that they construct. Each one's kind of expresses the local area's persona. Enough of that. Free gardening advice. Who doesn't want free gardening advice? It's great to get free advice, unless it causes you harm. Why can't I grow azaleas now that I've moved to Cincinnati? And what is that bug? How do I prune my hydrangea bush? Now getting the answers to your gardening questions is relatively easy. Visit online at civicgardencenter.org or call them. You can give them a call. That's the Civics Garden Center's gardening hotline. 513-221-TREE. That's funny. 513-221-TREE. That's 8733 for the illiterate. Volunteer staff the hotline desk from 9 to 11, or 9 to 1 actually. So give them a call. They'll tell you what's up. You can find Ramblin' Rob on Facebook. Also, look me up on YouTube. I have a channel there with about 260 old shows. Also, Ramblin' Rob's Greatest Story Ever Told official Facebook page. We have a couple acts we've booked in this year. We're going to have some special guest DJs. I know several guest DJs will be making their appearances in studio later on this year. Also, we have, I believe, the Ram ones scheduled to come in. And I believe Mike Conley may be DJing, or he may be bringing Little Spooky in, or at least Elijah, coming in to play. So we've got a couple artists, not doing a lot of artists this year, trying to... Calm down, Jerry. Trying to kind of prioritize the Grateful Dead this year, because sometimes get too many bands in studio and I can't play enough Grateful Dead, and that makes me a sad person. So we're going to be spending the year in 1978. We're going to be deep in 1978 this year. And real quick, not a very busy day in Grateful Dead history. One of those between tour type of dates, June between early and late summer tour. 1967, they played the Tompkins Square Park in New York City. That was a free afternoon concert, and if my memory serves me right, that was a concert that they did kind of a free thing. There was a lot of gang activity between, I believe, the Puerto Ricans and some of the black gangs in New York, and this was kind of mid-turf, a little area that was disputed, and they actually came to the park, and both the gangs enjoyed the music. No problems were caused, so it was a good time. And I think that was when they saw Charles Mingus. I think they caught him sitting on a bench drinking some liquor out of a thermos. But anyway, I digress. 1968, the Carousel Ballroom. 1977, the Grateful Dead movie was released on this date. Epic movie. And who can, the Grateful Dead are, the huge stars in the movie since it's the Grateful Dead movie and they're the Grateful Dead. But I think if you ask any fan what one of their favorite scenes or their favorite quote-unquote characters or personas represented in that great movie, I think it would have to be Chicken Shack. Definitely Chicken Shack. Because you can't name anybody else but Chicken Shack. 1977, that was epic in 1977. Freaked everybody out. 1991, the last time the Grateful Dead played on today's date, that was at the LA Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California. Well, we've got, like I said, Argonaut and Wasp on the list tonight to play. Let's see, I've got Argonaut and Wasp, a little freak bass. He's been releasing some new stuff and wanted to get some of his newer stuff on the air. He did a nice little semi-acoustic thing a couple days ago. So, and it's also him, Razor Sharp, Sam Garrett, but we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. We do have some great things available on the WAIF website. That's WAIF883.org. You can get a cool t-shirt. Temporarily out of stock, but we're going to get more of those in soon. And more importantly, you can become a member. $25 is all we ask. It's quick and easy. WAIF883.org. Mention Ramblin' Rob, Taper Jesse, the greatest story ever told in the comments, remarks, purpose section. It's the only way we get to do this every week is with your support. So please support us. We depend on you guys each and every year, else I wouldn't be here. So thanks again for all the support in the past. I'm going on year 6, so big shout outs to all the past contributors. If you do have less than $25, we are a community radio station. Every little bit helps, so please contribute all you can. If you have more than that, we have 2 features. Well, we'll just tell you about the real cool one. How about that? The $250 level, you get to be DJ for a day. Get to sit with Taper Jesse and myself in front of a microphone and put some headphones on and pretend, I use that quotation mark thing around there, get to pretend to be a DJ here at WAIF. You can come in and play a approved Taper Jesse Ramblin' Rob list of tunes. Hopefully some good stuff. If not, you paid the money. We'll play 2 hours of bad stuff. Doesn't matter to me. And I'll record the show for your listening enjoyment, and you can share it and play it at every party you ever have and every Christmas party you ever have. You could play that 2 hours you were on the radio where you became Dr. Johnny Fever or Dr. Natalie Fever or whatever you want to call yourself. All right. Well, we're going to roll through 1978, trying to wrap up that great show we started last week. It was July 5th, 1978, the Omaha Civic Auditorium, Omaha, Nebraska. And speaking of Omaha, Nebraska, one of the things that the Grateful Dead were good about, at least in the earlier part of the days, say the late 60s and early 70s, they were traveling, especially when they did the small college tour, like in 71, 70, but they would go around to these relatively small towns, quiet areas of the United States throughout the Midwest and such. And honestly, it was the first time that a lot of the people, the locals who might live in Omaha City or Omaha or Tulsa or whatever. It was the first time they really ever saw a freak, a long-haired hippie, that the Los Angeles papers and the San Francisco papers and the New York papers always talked about. Well, this was like a traveling freak show for these people. So they got exposed to a lot of different weird things courtesy of the Grateful Dead. Not to mention probably that probably a large part of the LSD consumed throughout the 70s was brought to town by those crazy guys. Fans, man, what are you guys doing? Okay. I'm going to shut up and get on with some Grateful Dead from 1978. But first, of course, we have to do the intro tune. It wouldn't be the greatest story ever told without Lyle's little thing.
Thursday nights from 8 till 10, 88.3 Wave FM. Tune on in, yeah, and feed your head. Always awesome tunes and always Grateful Dead. Yeah, Ramblin' Rob, well, he's your host. Streaming on the web from coast to coast. Check it as you do shows of old. It's Ramblin' Rob's greatest story ever told.
And Lyle has confirmed today, as a matter of fact, Lyle and Shay will be back in studio as the Ram Ones. I wrote the date on some piece of paper I don't have right now, but it's coming up pretty soon. And if you don't know these guys, it was the same guy that did that tune. If you don't know these guys, you're in for an absolute thrill. Always excited to get them in studio because it's Ohio's only premier and only acoustic Ramones duo. So they really knock your socks off, and it's always a blast having them in studio. Okay, guys, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. 1978's the date.
Well, now baby, still all night long, made me cry. Lord, you done me wrong. Hurt my eyes open, baby, that's no lie. People's turn, now it's her turn to cry. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. Over now. Yes, and I used to love her, but it's all over now. Over now. Well, I used to wake in the morning, get my breakfast in bed. When I got worried, Lord, she'd ease my aching head. Now she's here and there, with every man in town, still trying to take me for that same old clown. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. Over now. Yes, and I used to love her, but it's all over now. Over now. Pity how I cry. Tables turn, now it's her turn to cry. And I used to love her, but it's all over now. It's over now, over now. He said I used to love her, but it's all over now. It's over. It's was trying to cry. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. It's over now. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. It's over now. 'Cause I used to love her, but it's all over now. What I said, over now. You said I used to love her, but it's all over now. Over now.
So, do you think I have a case?
Mrs. Simpson, you're in luck. Your sexual harassment suit is just the thing I need to rebuild my shattered practice.
Come on, boys, and wait. You got 7 come, 11 boys. I'll take your money home. Look out, the king. From Memphis, where I learned to toe the jive. When I get back to Memphis, there'll be one last man alive. $1 boys live on the line. Hand me my old guitar, pass the whiskey round. Everybody you meet at the candy man's town.
only with advertisements everywhere and tons of security guards.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a few minutes, so everybody hang loose.
Nice high energy show there from 1978. That was July 5th, of course. They were out playing in the Omaha Civic Auditorium in beautiful Omaha, Nebraska, I'm sure. You're listening to WAIF 88.3 FM. Go to WAIF's website, WAIF883.org, and download a smart or Android app for your phone, and that way you can take us everywhere we go. We have over 70 unique programs here, bringing you some eclectic things like Caribbean, bluegrass, blues, the Grateful Dead, of course, gypsy jazz, gospel, country, classic rock. We have death metal. We have surf rock. We have all kinds of different rock. So check us out. We have some unique things that you really can't get anywhere else. And while you're there, memberships are only $25. It's how you keep this unique thing we like to call WAIF on the air. So join us in celebrating our 5th decade on the air. And we can only do that by having the support of Cincinnati and the listeners. Yes, you. I'm pointing at you, Mr. Listener, in your car, in your house. I see you sitting in your lazy boy. I see you. You haven't donated lately. You should. We'll take $5 from you. We're not proud. WIF883.org. Mention Ram the Rob, Tabor Jesse, or the greatest story ever told in the comments remarks section. Okay, well, we're going to take a little break here from the Grateful Dead. We're going to feature some different things. Let's see. I've got, I guess we'll play this Argonaut and, well, let's go freak bass. I feel a little freaky. So we're going to play some freak bass. He shared this with me a couple days ago, and I'm going to just crank it. So we're going to get a little funky here, if you excuse the French.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was a little freak bass there. Love in Your Pocket. That had Sammy Garrett. And let's see, Sammy Garrett, Razor Sharp Johnson, and Rico Lewis and Freak Bass all together doing a little Love in Your Pocket. So really, really dug that. That was pretty cool. I like Freak Bass. You're listening to WAIF again. We're going to do a little talking here because we do have a lot of Grateful Dead on the plate. Like I said, I'm going to try to roll through as much of 1978 as physically possible this year. I do have a lot on the plate. We're going, I think, July 5th here in just a little bit. Let's see here. I've told you guys about some free gardening stuff last hour, public libraries, and the great show we have here, Blue Snakes and Banjos. So I'll let Taper Jesse tell you guys about a couple more things that we got here. How you doing tonight, Jesse?
I'm doing fantastic, Rob. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I've had better weeks. I think the moon's like in some weird phase or something like that. So, yeah.
I think the whole world's just going insane, really.
Yeah, I actually, I'm one of those crazy thoughts I'll tell you about off air. But yeah, I think that I was thinking the other day, like, yeah, everybody's getting all uppity and stuff. Everybody's going a little nutso lately.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to calm down. Like we were talking, like Jesus said, just calm down,
Right,
people.
right, relax.
Just take it easy, relax.
Jesus doesn't want you to judge people.
No.
Jesus wants you to make that cake, and he wants you to help out your neighbor.
That's right. Just calm down. Be
Or
kind to
Buddha,
people.
or whatever you want to call the dude.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the entire world would get along if you just had one rule, and it's just like be cool to everybody.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if some guy's a total douche and and he deserves a punch in the face, not to say you can't punch him in the face, because you could just call that karma.
Yeah.
And karma's sometimes swift or slow, it just depends on it. But yeah, just be cool to everybody, and everybody get along. It doesn't matter what country you're in, or what color you are, or where you're from, or you're north, south, east, west. Just be cool to your neighbors on the left, on the right, down below, up above. Everything be kosher.
Right.
But that's just me on my soapbox. No one's really going to do that.
You don't have to agree with someone to be able to get along.
And on the flip side of that coin, mankind has been bashing each other's skulls in with rocks for centuries.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
About that
yeah, I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So you get the best of mankind, and you get the worst of mankind. So hopefully you go out and try to be the best.
You know what my official management training was?
What's that?
I was handed a book called Responsible Reasons to Punch People in the Face.
There you go. And did you learn something?
I learned something. That there are responsible reasons to punch people in the face.
They gave you at least 20 reasons?
Exactly.
100 reasons
exactly.
why you can punch an employee.
You know what the difference is between a hippie and a deadhead, right?
Uh-uh.
A hippie preaches peace and love, but a deadhead will walk up and punch you in the face. It's true. Anyways, Tuesday evenings from 8 to 10, tune into WAIF for a fine gumbo of Louisiana music.
Yeehaw.
Creole, Cajun, and New Orleans R&B make a wonderful and tasty dessert of ear candy. Join Robin and Joni for a low-calorie, high-energy buffet of America's original music. That's Crawfish Fiesta. Catch it only on WAIF 883 Cincinnati.
Yeah, I always got appalled when my history of rock and roll professor was telling me as a youth that there's only like blues, and that's kind of iffy, but like jazz, he kept saying, like, the only indigenous American music is jazz, and I'm thinking, like, you got the Cajun music, which is a blend of a couple different kinds of sounds. It's like, that's pretty original. I don't see anybody else doing that.
I mean, if nothing else, there's no such thing as an original thought. Any note that's ever been played has been played by someone else before in that.
Yeah, there's only so many, right?
Right.
You got to pick from, how many are there? How many musical notes are there? You know off the top of your head? Did you play music?
A, B, C, D, E, F,
26,
G,
just like the alphabet.
and then the various sharps and flats and sevenths and all the different,
See, I played
but
music.
mainly there's just just that handful of notes, and everything else is based off and around that.
Yeah, I played music, but I can't remember anything because it was so long ago. So long ago. Okay, we'll let you guys finish there. Sorry about that. I just kind of interrupted there, jumped around.
That's all right. But did you know that the contribution of women inventors to society have been under-recognized for many years? Did you know that?
I knew that. That's why I drew that card.
That's a good card to draw.
It is.
I've got to
We
be
like
honest.
women.
We love women. I mean, come on. I've got enough kids to prove that
That's
I
right.
love women.
I love
So,
women.
yeah. But anyways, I totally lost my all. Their achievements have been even greater, knowing the gender bias they have had to overcome.
Yes.
Over the next 2 decades, more than 25 million new jobs will be created in the field of engineering, with women holding an estimated 65% of these jobs.
Jeez.
The American Society of Mechanical Engineering hopes that today's young women will consider a career in mechanical engineering to be motivating enough to transcend whatever barriers they confront. For more information about mechanical engineering, log on to www.asme.org.
Wow. That must be a new one. I don't remember that one.
I've got to say, so far, 2 of these 3, I've been doing this with you for 3 years now, and I've never seen any of.
Yeah,
these.
I actually was looking through the promos and looked at them all. I don't have one in the other box, but I was looking through them all and trying to find some interesting things. Stuff I haven't read before. Because a lot of times I'm like, ooh, the zoo one, and I'll read that one like 85 times a year or something.
I pick them out at random, and honestly, I have a couple of them marked in the corner that I won't read because I find them exceedingly difficult. Because
Like that one. What's that one that has all the religious biblical quotes in it?
Oh yeah. Like I don't mind reading it because of the content. It's so hard to read
In Bible speak.
Yeah.
You have to,
Thou hast spaketh thine, thusly thou forth.
Difficult to speak like that.
Right. Anyway.
Okay, you got one more item on
more?
the plate here. Yeah.
Do you want to time me?
No, I'm just reading what's up next here.
Oh, okay. In response to increasing number of abused and neglected children in Kentucky, the Diocesan Catholic Children's Home in Fort Mitchell is searching for foster and adoptive parents. There are now more than 350 children in Kentucky's foster care system just waiting to be adopted. If you can help, please call Ron Birch at 859-331-2040 or visit online at dcchome.org.
Interesting. See, I don't. Have we read that one before? That one doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, in 3 years, I've never read any of these, and I thought I did a pretty thorough random pick.
We got a pretty big box, but yeah.
Yeah. After 3 years, things haven't changed that much, Haven't been that much turnover shows here.
No. Well, speaking of turnover, we got a band called Argonaut and Wasp coming to town at Stanley's here in, I think,
Did
a
you
couple
say
weeks.
Wasp?
Yeah, Argonaut and Wasp, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Argonaut and Wasp.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going to have Blackie Lawless at Stanley's, man. I was getting super...
No, but they're from the East Coast, I think New York, Brooklyn, New York City-ish, we'll say. I think one of those places around New York City. I don't know exactly what specific borough, but see, I got the lingo down. But we're going to roll, let's see, a quickie here. It's called Radio Sound / Psychedelic Freak. So I kind of like it. The sound, I told the guys they've got a really cool, different type of sound, something that I wouldn't expect to see down at Stanley's because it's a little more progressive probably than, but Stanley's has been getting some newer, different bands from a little more distance away in. So that's good, and they're great for the Cincinnati music scene. Kind of spice it up a little bit.
It's very the size and layout of the venue. You can put a guy on an acoustic guitar singing on that stage, and there will be enough energy in that room to light it up. It's a very high energy.
Yeah, I almost got
venue.
Yeah, I almost got struck by lightning down there one time. That's how high energy it was. And the funny thing was when I was talking to, I want to say it was Woofy afterwards or Adam. They said that because there was a bolt of lightning that hit really, really close to the back patio, and I equate it to standing next to a 155 millimeter howitzer because it was insane. It was so close. One guy actually, for the remainder of the evening, kept looking over at me and feeling himself going, "Did it hit me? Did it hit me?" Because he got so disoriented from the electrical charge. Yeah. But anyway, Wolfie said a ball of lightning rolled through Stanley's back door, around the corner, and out the side window when that thing hit.
Man.
And no one saw it except the people that were facing the back because it rolled right through the back along the wall.
Oh, man.
Isn't that weird? That's how close that thing was.
Man.
So, yeah, it's a high-energy place.
It's a very high-energy place. I have an off-air story, wink, wink, to tell you about high energy in that place.
Does it involve Lemmy? Just kidding.
No.
We love Motorhead. We might even rock out the end of the show with some Motorhead. I really enjoy Motorhead. It's one of my indulges, kind of like 311, one of those things that I can't turn them off if they're even remotely close to a Motorhead tune.
You know, a friend of mine has a little project that he's putting together, and he was like, man, what do we have to do to get on the show? And I was like, well, you probably just at least have to play a Grateful Dead tune. He was like, well, you know. And I was like, how about an obscure 311 track? He was like, that we can do.
Well, see, that'll get you on here.
I told him to learn it and come talk to me.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with 311 tune. You only got to play like 3 minutes. They're all like radio hits. They don't jam out on hardly anything.
Right, but man, those 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're all to it, man. I mean, if you look at a set list like back in the day, like the mid 90s from 311, they'll play like 26, 32 songs.
They still do.
Insane.
Yeah.
How many songs?
I don't think I've ever seen them play less than like 20 or 25 songs.
And no teleprompter either.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yet.
Right. We laugh about it because we're getting old.
Right? I think I need bifocals, Rob.
Yeah, it was me too. I've been needing them for years. So it stinks. Anyway, this is Argonaut and Wasp. They'll be rolling down the Stanleys here, I believe, in 2 weeks. So exactly 2 weeks, because I was going to have them in studio, but I think Mike Conley's coming in actually as a guest DJ. We got a couple of guest DJs lined up this year. This is Radio Sound Psychedelic Freak from Argonaut and Wasp. Enjoy this one.
Well, I hop down from the barber shop. I gotta raise the top, and this suit's making me fine. 2 shots in the liquor's hot. Just park the car. I'm warming up my drive. I got a bad price of your favorite cuts, 'cause the radio just won't make up its mind. Well, Mr. DJ, will you play tunes
like I said, those guys, Argonaut and Wasp, will be back. Or the first time, actually, they're going to be down at Stanley's here in just 2 weeks. So, okay, you're listening to WAIF 88.3 FM. We're going to roll on with some Grateful Dead. We're going to come close to wrapping up the 7/5/1978 show. It is Omaha Civic Auditorium in sunny Omaha, Nebraska, and I bet it was hot as heck on July 5th in Omaha, Nebraska. And
Man.
yeah, no, seems like there's no shade in Nebraska, just from what I've seen from like cowboy movies and stuff.
No
but-
shade, nice, dry, hot wind.
Right,
just
yeah, exactly.
so-
Oh, well. We're going to roll through, let's see, I think this is...
My complexion is why I could never live in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah,
No
you'd
shade.
You'd be
Oh,
red
man.
all the time. All the time. All right, we're going to start off with a little Samson and Delilah, Ship of Fools, estimated. And I think they start out estimated in set 2, because we're going to wrap up set 1 and get into set 2 here. You're listening to Ramblin' Rob and Taper Jesse.
Igor, would you give me a hand with the bags?
Certainly. You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the tavern.
If I had my way, I would tear this old building down. Delilah was a woman, she was fine bad. Ooh, she had good looks, got gold like hair. Delilah, she cleaned old Samson's mind. When first he saw this woman, Lord, she looked so fine. Delilah, she climbed up on old Samson's knee. Said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please, and she spoke so kind, talked so fair. Samson said, Delilah, you cut off my hair. You can shave my hair, clean as my hand. My strength coming natural as any old man. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, I would tear this old building down. You read about Samson, oh, from his works, he was the strongest man that ever has lived on earth. One day while Samson was walking along, looked down on the ground, he saw an old jawbone. And he had stretched out his arm, got no chain, broke like a crab. When he got to moving, 10,000 was dead. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, I would tear this old building down. That's right. about this line. Here goes a man with his paws since got his hands up around that lion jaw. And he ripped that beast, God knows that. Get him down, and the beast made hot in the lion's head. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, I would tear this old building down.
If elected mayor, my first act will be to kill the whole lot of you and burn you turn to cinders.
See the captain, strangers I could find. rocking of the boat, and all that could not sink or swim was just left there to float. I won't leave you drifting down, but whoa, it makes me wild. 30 years upon my head to have you call me child, ship of fools on a cruel sea, ship of fools, sail away from me. It was later than I thought when I first believed you. Now I cannot share your laughter, ship of fools. Ship of fools on a cruel sea. Ship of fools sail away from me. It was later when I thought, when I first believed. Now I cannot share your laughter, ship of fools. The bottle stands as empty as it was filled before. Time there was and plenty. Oh, no more. Though I could not caution on, I still might want a few. Don't lend your hand to wave no flag atop no ship of fools, ship of fools on a cruel sea, ship of fools sail away from me. It was later than I thought when I first believed you. Now I cannot share your laughter, ship of fools. It was later than I thought when I first believed you. Now I cannot share your laughter, ship of fools.
Planning a Jamaican getaway? Fly Stone. Our Stoned attendants will see that you arrive with a load. Stoned Airlines to Jamaica. Fly above the clouds and arrive with a head full of steam when you get there. And save money with our special economy flights. Only $29.95.
Don't take a boat to Jamaica.
Ja wants you to fly.
My time coming any day. Don't worry about me now. Been so long I felt this way, but I'm in no hurry now. Been so long I felt this way, now time sure passing slow. Still I know I lead the way. Them voices tell me so. Don't worry about me. Nah, nah, don't worry about me now. 'Cause I'm in no hurry. Nah, nah, 'cause I know where to go. California, preaching on the burning shore. California, yeah, I've been knocking on the golden door. Like an angel, standing in a shaft of light, rising up to paradise. I know I'm gonna shine. My time coming any day. Don't worry about me now. Rivers in down that highway where ocean breezes blow. Been so long I felt this way. Now time sure passing slow. Still I know I lead the way, 'cause I know where to go. Don't worry about me. Nah, nah, don't worry about me now. 'Cause I'm in no hurry. Nah, nah, 'cause I know where to go. California, a prophet on the burning shore. California, yeah, I've been knocking on the golden door. Like an angel, standing in a shaft of light, rising up to paradise. I know I'm gonna shine. You off in the street, you would not believe me. But them voices telling me you will soon receive me. You're shining on the beat, the sea will fight before me. Fire will burning in the air, and you will follow me, and we will rise to glory. Way up the middle of the air. And I'll call down thunder and speak the same. My word fills the sky with flame. Make glory gonna be my name. And they gonna light my way. day, them voices tell me so. This afternoon, streets turn gray, and I watch the cars below. Still I know him, lead the way, he know how to know. Don't worry, nah, nah, don't worry about me now. Some you know, nah, nah, 'cause I know where to go. Don't worry about me, nah, nah, don't worry about me now. 'Cause I'm in no, nah, 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 I know where to go. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah.
The doctor said I wouldn't have so many nosebleeds if I kept my finger out of there.
Sometimes we live though for taking away our own. Sometimes we visit your country and live in your home. Sometimes we ride on your horses. Sometimes we walk alone. Sometimes the songs that we hear are just songs of our own. Its own. Wait now, discover that you are the song that the morning made. The heart has its seasons, its evenings, and songs of its own.
Okay, folks, show's over. Nothing to see here. Show's... Oh, my God! A horrible plane crash! Hey, everybody, get a load of this flaming wreckage! Come on, crowd around. Crowd around. Don't be shy. Crowd around.
I'm afraid we have a bad image, sir. Market research shows people see you as something of an ogre.
You ought to club them and eat their bones.
A little bit of Grateful Dead there for your head. We're going to try to wrap up at 7578 show, Omaha Civic Center, Omaha, Nebraska, next week for you. Good place to stop between space and drums. Or drums and space, technically, I guess, huh?
Dude, get it right, man.
Yeah, I know. And we'll pick up there next time. But yeah, it's a good way going into the Notorious Joyous show. He's in studio, so stick around. He's got some treats for you. I saw he actually has a 45 on his turntable, so you don't see those a lot. Those little baby records and little singles, you know.
Those little cute records. Just
Yeah.
want to pinch your little cheeks.
Yeah, they are cute, aren't they? Aren't they?
Baby records.
Yeah, they're cute. But yeah, he's got a 45 for you. So, all right, we're going to get on with a little bit of that here. But first, we're going to rock out tonight because everybody needs it. It just seems like it's that time. Catch you next week.
If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. kill. Double up or quit. Double strike or split. The ace of spades. The ace of spades. You know I'm going to lose. And gambling's for fools. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want